would you kind of characterize today's performance?
Boy, there's a little ugly and some really good there late in the end. So we're fighting as a team to figure it out. I mean, 2 days in a row we lose a ball in the sun in the twilight with runners on and big parts of the game, and we don't get a great start. You know, and I'm really high on Jack Walker. He just hasn't pitched well, and I think he's lost his confidence a little bit. And we need him. We need him back to get through the SEC schedule. But I do think our team played well late. And we've talked a lot about playing free and playing relaxed. And, you know, after LT gets the swing, it's amazing how many good at-bats we have. And even Brooks Auger, who I take out yesterday, I was disappointed in. And, you know, shoot, he's 7 miles an hour harder today. That's being aggressive. And then Jackson Fristow there at the end for us was huge. I think we're trying to get him in a bullpen role and just let him throw hard for an inning or so right now to see if he can gain back a little bit. But he looked like last year's Jackson, you know, in that inning. So that was, I know it was a big score, but him going out there and pitching with his stuff is important.
Jess Davis back in the starting lineup and doesn't start off really well, you know, losing the ball in the 12th. And that happens in baseball, but kind of hard to ignore him getting on base 5 out of 6 times out of the leadoff spot. I mean, how would you characterize the totality of his performance and the prospect of staying in the starting lineup moving forward?
Well, getting on base is the whole key. I told him 2 times a game. You know, we get you on 40% of the time. And he was a little better than that today. So, and he can steal. He really steals bases. They threw him out once, but he's a good base runner too. So we need something like that. It gives us our lineup a little more depth. So I think it gives us another option. I wanted to see it today. I know it was a little unorthodox because we played some different outfielders, but I think he deserved it. He's been really good in when we've played him over the last couple of weeks, and he's been really good in his BPs. And so he had a nice game tonight.
No, it's just one game, but Yeager swung the bat pretty well today.
He had some good at bats. He really did. So there's a really good hitter in there. You know, the 2 bombs help. You know, obviously, but it's a really good player, and he's done it over a long amount of time. So I'm hoping he can get going.
Going to that seventh inning, you had Cameron James steal entire bases, and then Luke Hancock steal bases. How big was that in Logan Tanner's at bat? You know, kind of takes a double play out of the effect there.
Well, I was worried when Luke ran. LT probably took the best pitch to hit in the at bat. So I was like, oh. I thought the stolen base of third by Cam was huge. I think that's where it takes now all we got to do is move the ball, and then they become real careful with Luke, walk him, and it just opens up things. When you play infield up with first and third, it's a lot easier to run behind. So they gave us some opportunities there, and LT gets the big hit.
Then you talk about the top 3 of the order. You know, Cam 3 hits tonight and the walk. Luke 0 for 3, but gets 3 walks. I mean, so you're getting those guys on base in front of the heart of the order, and then Hunter with a big hit, LT with a big hit. Yeah. I know ideally that's what you'd like to see happen.
Right.
Do you feel like that 3 that you have there now, that you're beginning to settle maybe a little bit there?
A little bit. I don't. It's still. You know, I'm not 100%. So I think we still got to do a little bit more. But I think we're getting some guys going, and Kellum's going a little bit now. You know, I like that middle. I mean, Cam needs to play. Cam and LT, they've had a little bit of a slow start in some ways. You know, I think there's more in the tank for both of them, and they've been working really hard. So it's nice to see, you know, them have a little success tonight.
You mentioned Brooks and you mentioned Jackson. And just overall, about your pitching, even threw Lane out there for an inning.
Yeah, we threw Lane. You know, Lane was like really touted as a pitcher coming out of high school. We just didn't have to use him last year with the staff, and so over since we've had some injuries, the last couple of weeks, we've run him in, run some bullpens, and then I wanted to. He used to in high school just come right off shortstop and throw it in and run right back. I wanted to make sure the first time he pitched here, he had enough time to warm up and everything. So we decided early on we're just going to bring him out and give him 1 fresh inning. I thought he was fine. You know, all the guys in the dugout are giving him a hard time because they said they wouldn't have gave up a home run. You know, the first hitter, but I thought Drew Talley was really good tonight. You know, I thought Drew was good. I thought Brandon Smith was good. I mean, we need that bullpen, man. We need some guys to find their roles and take advantage of it.
You mentioned Drew, and it seems like every time we see him, he's getting a little bit better. Tonight, I thought he was outstanding, you know, really hitting the black and competing like he's not scared to get hit. Do you feel like that this is a piece now that maybe you're beginning to develop some trust in?
I think so. I mean, he's been good. When he throws a slider for a strike, that's what you saw that tonight. He got him off. You got to get him off his fastball, but you start throwing that slider for a strike tonight, it's hard to hit him, and he's done a nice job for us. You know, every little piece that we got, it's important right now.
What can you do between now and start of SEC play on Friday to get this team best shape possible.
I think they're off tomorrow, and I think they're going to the movies, is what they told me. So with the rain, and then we're gonna go really hard on Wednesday. Get up there Thursday night, have a really good practice, and get ready for SEC play. I mean, it's man, we've had a long preseason here. It feels like it's been a grind in some ways, but our kids are excited. It's kind of like a new season. So what you do in the SEC matters, and just how many SEC wins can you get can dictate your entire year. So.
First thing that comes to mind when you think about Scott Strickland's team, the Georgia's pitching, they always seem to have a ton of starting pitching. But what else maybe stands out about this team that maybe makes them a little more dangerous than perhaps what we saw last year?
We haven't seen them in a while. So, and I haven't watched a ton of them right now. I know they're number one, so probably the most highly projected guy now that's out there pitching. So I think there's another couple really good relievers, and then some older position players. They've just been really good with the older positions, some mature kids who've done it. So we're going to have our work cut out for us.
You mentioned the pitching injuries that you've had. Just how big of a setback are those? We saw the announcements today. Just how big of a setback is that for y'all?
They're tough. I mean, it's we're pushing past it right now. When in a 24-hour period when we had two of them last week, it was pretty tough on the entire team. So I think you probably saw it a little bit in how the kids responded, and it's their boys, it's their best friends, and we all know what each guy's fighting for and playing for, and so it's just really tough. But we have to move on, and it happens across the country, and it's the next man up mentality. Unfortunately, we don't have a minor league system like the pro ball, so it has to be the next guy that jumps out there and gets ready, and we're just going to have to push forward. We have some really good starting pitching left, so I feel good there. And we got Casey Hunt should be, he's working his way back, so we should be able to have Casey here pretty soon. So that'll help us out.
Do you want to keep Cade on Sundays, or is that something you're still kind of working out with Fox? Or
I think I didn't even ask him today. I don't know what we're doing. I'll be honest with you. We need to sit and talk about it for bullpens. So I don't know. I think they're all three pitching really well. So we need to look at it a little bit from a matchup, but we'll have to figure it out.
I think things change week to week, but you kind of sleep a little bit better after the week that Parker had, and then obviously being named co-SEC pitcher of the week. I mean, probably the best week he's had in the uniform. How would you kind of characterize what you see?
A really good week, and he just, shoot, he's probably right. He said he was a starter all along. I was pitching him out of the bullpen, so I hope he keeps starting the way he is. Some kids are like that with routine, and I just thought, he didn't even have his best stuff, but I was watching some video last night, and just from behind, that breaking ball has got so much depth to it. It's hard to square up, and that's what's happening. But he struck our guys out like that all preseason and all fall. Like, that's why we kept running him out, because he was so good, he just couldn't figure it out of the pen, and right now he's figured it out. He's just on a lot of pitches right now, so he's thrown a lot. He may get a little more rest than Cade this week. We haven't made that decision. We'll probably put it out here soon.
We've been talking about that for a couple of weeks now, figuring it out. Do you feel like you're a little bit closer to figuring it out?
I do. Tonight really helped. The last two or three innings really helped. I'm ecstatic about Jackson Fristow and Brooks Auger there at the end. I mean, that's what we need. You got to have some power, and you can have some left-handed bunk or whatever, but you got to have some power in your pen. And those two guys tonight late were really good. So we need them to keep making steps forward.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.